Hey, what's up? It's your man Ricky Dozen, and today we're gonna be doing car predictions for the last major DLC on GTA Online, and that DLC is gonna be called the Mansions DLC. And we have knowledge of this because of like data miners and people that snuck their way in and found data on the Mansion DLC and where the locations are gonna be on the map and all that stuff. But currently, we're going to be focusing on the cars that may or may not come in the next and last major DLC. So, without a further ado, let's get right into the first class. Starting with the first class, which is the police cars class. I only have really two cars that I really want in the game. Two police cars. One of them being the police version of the Buffalo STX. That looked really great. It seems like we definitely have that coming on into GTA 6, so it'd be pretty cool to see it in GTA Online. And the second one being the Ford Mustang, which is the Dominator GT, but instead of having the Cabrio or really like the drop top, I would like to have like a hard roof, right? So they don't have to really give us the actual Dominator GT hard roof, or and they could just give us the cop car. So it'd be like the best of both worlds, where you have the hard roof and you also have a police version of it. That'd be pretty cool. Now for the GTA 6 Cars class, starting off with the first one is a mid 80s to early 90s BMW 325i convertible, which would be probably would be called a Sentinel Classic convertible in the game. It looks really nice. That looks awesome in my opinion. I feel like we should get more variety of the cars that we already have. So that's also like a pretty cool build there. Another car is a F-140 monster truck as seen in trailer 1, I believe. Also a really great car. It actually kind of reminds me of the GTA San Andreas monster truck that we had at that one safe house. Is what's his name? I forgot the guy's name. He was some type of government guy. And then the final car is like a 2020 Mercedes-Benz C-Class that was seen in trailer 2. It was like in the main road. I think it was Ocean Drive. I can't really tell by the street, but I think it was like Ocean Drive. And it had those really strange like lowrider-esque wheels. I don't know what wheels those are. I've definitely seen them before in other cars, but um yeah, that car specifically would be, I think it would be a really easy car to import into the game. So for sure that one. Now in the supercars class, this will be interesting one right here. Starting off with a Progen, which is McLaren real life, would be great is to have a McLaren 720S. In my opinion, I think the 720S would be a great addition to GTA Online, a super great and actually well detailed one, especially with their new trend of making cars look very realistic in the game. It would be amazing. And also onto the second car, we have the 1990 Honda NSX. Of course, we need it. Of course, it's been a car that was in San Andreas and it was called the Infernus in that game. Of course, now it can't be the Infernus because the Infernus is the uh, Lamborghini Murcielago in the game, basically. Um, so yeah, we definitely need that Honda NSX. I feel like it's the big hurrah, right? It's the big DLC. We should have a car that people have been wanting in this game for the longest, and it almost feels like a crime that we're in Los Santos without the infamous NSX. So I feel like there's a way better chance that it'll be put in the game more than other cars. On to the next car, we have a Mercedes-Benz CLK GTR. Okay, I actually put this on my last predictions video for the last DLC. Um, but now this one makes more sense, right? You have a Mansions DLC. You're probably gonna get, very high-end cars. This is one of the most high-end cars you could possibly think of. So I feel like it would fit, even though it wouldn't really fit GTA, and I would admit that. I feel like it would kind of fit the DLC, so I had to put it on the list once again. And another car that I put on the list from the last predictions is the Lexus LFA. Of course, have to go for the Lexus LFA, and it's like it's a double double. It's like a double edged sword. Um, with the LFA because it's GTA. We know they're not going to put any detail in the sound, so we might have like a car that doesn't sound at all like an LFA, but it looks really close to one. Um, and you could argue that we already have an LFA in the game, but that car looks like a race version of it, and not really that close. Like there's some cues on it that will make you think, oh, it's an LFA, but others that throw you off a bit. So we need like a perfect LFA in the game, right? We just need a perfect LFA. So please, Rockstar, let's get that going. And for the final car on my supercars list, I have an Aston Martin Vulcan. Yes, an Aston Martin Vulcan. Okay. I just love the car. I've just loved the look of the car. It's high end. Obviously, it seems like Rockstar loves their British cars. They love their ballers and they love their Dubachis. So since Aston Martin in the game is Dubachi, and I've seen a lot of Dubachis, I was like, maybe they might give us a Vulcan. They gave us a Vantage last DLC. Then for sure, just throw us a Vulcan. I think a Vulcan would fit in just perfectly. A nice hypercar that isn't electric. And in the sports class, starting off with the 2023 BMW M2, I think it just looks so good. It actually kind of grew on me. I didn't like it at first, but even though we just got an Uber match, I feel like it's kind of like I feel like a quarter. I feel like 25% it's gonna be put in the game. In my mind, probably not. The Lexus LC 500 would also be a great car to add to the game. We only have like a handful of Lexuses in the game. Well, we have like two or three in the game, maybe just two. So it'd be kind of cool to have like a high-end sports car in the game, just like that one. Looks really good, great design, really. And then we have the 1988 Mercedes-Benz 500 SEC. One of my favorite cars, if not my favorite car of all time. Gorgeous car, such a gorgeous car, and we got the Hammer maybe like 2-3 updates ago, so that'd be pretty cool to get another 80s type Mercedes in the game. And finally, the Mitsubishi 3000 GT, which also would be a more likely car to get in the game, not due to the update itself, but because it is a car that was featured previously in GTA San Andreas. So I think there's a likelihood that we could get it now, honestly. Now for the muscle cars class, we have three really awesome cars here, starting off with the Pontiac Firebird Trans Am, the classic Trans Am, the iconic Trans Am. Just look at it. That looks gorgeous, doesn't it? I feel like that's a car that we should have. I mean, we've had almost every iconic car in the game, every noticeable car or notable car in the game, in real life in the game. And it's crazy how we just don't have the Firebird. We need the Firebird. We need the Firebird Trans Am, okay? We need that specific car, okay? For sure. And then also the 1970 Mercury Cougar, which is a underrated muscle car. One of my favorites. I actually fell in love with it playing Need for Speed Heat. It's one of like the beginner cars. Not that you get at the beginning, but one of the cheaper cars in the game, and that it has such a great design on it. And I feel that would be kind of cool card to add to the game. And finally, with the first generation Ford Mustang, which now that I was just talking about Need for Speed Heat, it is actually one of the first cars that you do get out of the three starter cars. And I feel like that would work well as well. I feel like that's a car that we've had almost every Mustang so far, every generation, nearly, yeah, almost nearly every generation. So to have the first generation would be pretty awesome for sure. And now for the sports classics class, first car is the 1957 Mercedes-Benz 300 SL Roadster. Okay, Roadster. Now we already have the Gullwing. Now we need the Roadster. I think the Roadster is such a beautiful car, such a classy car, and very expensive. So I feel like it would work very well for a Mansions DLC. To have such a classic car in your lineup, I think that's perfect. And the second car will be the Porsche 356 Speedster. Amazing against another classic car. Nice and beautiful, nice and round. I don't know, it just looks great, doesn't it? Love it. In the SUVs class, we have starting off with the 2021 AMG G63. Yes, gotta love a good G Wagon. I feel like it's time that we get a updated G Wagon. We've had the old dub stuff for way too long. I don't like that car. Like I have it in my garage still, but I already have like some designs. I have some crew colors that I'm ready to put on it. I know they're gonna give us a G Wagon. That it just fits perfectly with the DLC. If they don't give it to us, oh well, we wait till GTA 6, but still, it just seems so likely, you know? And then on the other car, we have a 2020 Toyota RAV4. Now, I only put this on the list because we get a lot of random stuff. I noticed that they're giving us a lot of pedestrian cars, so I feel like a RAV4 would just make sense, you know? And finally on this list, we have the 2018 Durango SRT. Yes, we need an SRT Durango. Everyone's saying Trackhawk, Trackhawk, Trackhawk. I don't know if we're gonna get a Trackhawk. I'm hoping we get a Trackhawk. Really, we get a Trackhawk or a Durango. I'm happy either way. But I feel like the Durango is something that we're more than likely gonna get because again, we already have a Durango kind of in the game as the Grizzly or something like that, the Bravado Grizzly. But yeah, I think it's time that we finally get that Durango SRT. That would be amazing. In the off-roads class, we have the Ram TRX. I had this truck on the last list of mines. It's just a car that makes sense. It's a truck that makes sense. They're not gonna do it justice in the sense that I know they're not gonna give it the SRT sound, the V8 sound, but let's just hope they at least put some effort into the design, of course. And the second car is the first generation Bronco, Ford Bronco, of course. It's such a nice car. It's a classic car. It's a classic off-roader. It's a beautiful car. You can never go wrong with it. Do I think they're actually gonna put in a game? I'm hoping they are, but I don't know. I don't. It's kind of iffy because we have other cars that could kind of fit that profile just a little bit, but we're all hoping. You know, that'd be pretty cool. Now, in the Vans class, we actually have only one car, and actually, this is one car that I hope they have in the game, and this is the Lucid Gravity. Now, I was watching a Your Age stream, like I think it was like 2 weeks ago. It was with Agent. They went to like a car show, and Agent was showing him all the electric cars, and he's like, "Hey, we need to go to the Lucid dealership," and he showed off the Gravity and that how fast it just took off. I was like, wow, that's I'm not a big fan of electric cars, but if you can get a minivan to move that quick, that's pretty awesome. In the sedans class, we have the second gen Chrysler 300, and then here we go into the two cars that I'm really hoping for, really hoping for, is the 2022 Rolls-Royce Phantom. Come on, look at that. Ugh, look at that. It looks so classy. We've had the Super Diamond for so long. We need something new, something fresh, something clean. Of course, we have the Cullinan, but hopefully they actually do something to the interior, which we probably know this they're not gonna do anyways. But hopefully they do something to the interior that makes it look actually fancy in some type of way. And finally on the list is the 2023 Maybach S 680 or 680. And yes, we've had like Maybach type cars before, with the Cognizetti, and the Cognizetti 66, I believe, or 55, I believe it is called. But I think it's time that we get a newer version. Again, both these cars, the Rolls Royce and the Maybach, fit perfectly into a Mansions DLC. Very high end, very nice, and it's also pretty cool that if we can finally get some monoblock wheels, some new monoblock wheels, that'd be pretty awesome as well. In the Coupes class, we have one car, and it is the 2026 Honda Prelude. Okay, it's a really nice looking car. Honestly, when they revealed it, I was actually really liked it. Honestly, it was actually a good looking design in my opinion. Unlike the Integra that they tried to push on us. Actually, the Integra actually looks pretty good too. I'm not gonna lie, the Integra looks pretty good, but it doesn't look like an Integra, you know. But the Prelude, the new 2026 Prelude, actually looks really good. So I had to add it to the list. And in the compacts class, we have the Generation 1 Miata. Love it. I love it. Um, Hopefully they give us only the first gen, but if they're probably not, they're probably gonna put like different design cues from other generations, which I'm not against at all, but it's a car that a lot of people could agree on that they've all wanted in the game for quite some time. And it's a very, very easy customizable car. So I hope it has plenty of customization on it, and like cool out little engine swaps and stuff like that would be pretty cool too. And finally, my special list, especially with the last two updates having uh new LS car meet badges and wide body kits, I decided, okay, I need to make a class or predictions list including the LS car meet cars. And we're gonna start it off right with the R35, which is on the LG RH8. As you can see, it's a Liberty Walk kit. I feel like that would just be perfect. It'll be perfect. It'll be like the perfect ending to the game, you know? For many players, the LG RH8, it was their first car, especially if it was free for you. It was my first car when I joined GTA Online on next gen, and I think it would just be perfect for them to put a wide body kit on that car. Second on this list would be the Huracan, which in game is the Tempesta. Again, another great car. Um, I only chose this because that's what came to mind. I feel like when it comes to wide body kits, Liberty Walk is one of the first things I think about, and on top of that, like a Huracan would work really well. And not to say that the other cars won't work, like other Lamborghinis in the game won't work, but I feel like Huracan is like the more all around street car. Like it's like out of all the Lamborghinis, it's the most street car I could think about, right? I see Huracans all the time, and I see a lot of people online customize the Huracans. So that would be beautiful if they give us a wide body kit, but then give us like exposed back with like exposed turbos. Oh my god, I will orgasms. Um, and then number three on that list is the Comet, the Fister Comet. To be more specific, GTA Wise Guys design. That would be amazing. If you were like an OG fan and you remember GTA Wise Guy, he used to put concept videos. I believe they were called like Tuner Outlaw DLC, and he'd put like wide body kits on cars, and this was before Benny, mind you. So he kind of gave the idea for Rockstar to do Benny's upgrades. So he's the OG when it comes to this. So to pay homage to GTA Wise Guy and give us a Fister Comet with a wide body kit, that would be awesome. That would be completely awesome. And finally, this is out of the park. This doesn't make any sense, but the McLaren P1 GTR. It doesn't make any sense, but it's so crazy that it might actually happen. And it's one of the cars that people tend to really like. Still kind of underrated, but it's a car that's well designed since what, 2016, 2015 even. And they finally give it like an OG car that's loved in the community, a wide body kit or like a race kit on it, really. That is my list, ladies and gentlemen. If you guys enjoy the picks that I chose, please like and subscribe, and check out my other videos. I got other stuff on my channel and other things that are on the way, huge projects. But yeah, I really thought hard and long, and of course, I have to shout out Digital Car Addict once again. There was a lot of cars that I agreed on his list, and you'll see if you compare my videos, there are at least maybe like 3 or 4 cars that we both have on our list together. But the other cars, I'm like, hey, these actually might perfectly fit. And yeah, hopefully I hit. Last year I guessed a BMW M3, or no, BMW M4, and then a BMW M3 came out. So I was kind of close, but hopefully this year or this season I hit at least 3. I think I'm gonna hit 3 this time. I'm calling it right now. So thank you guys for watching, and I am out. Peace.